The Unwanted Echoes. Chapter 1. The whisper begins. I step into the apartment, fumbling with my keys as I always do when I come home late from a night out with friends. Our place is dimly lit by a single streetlight seeping through the curtains, casting an eerie glow on the sparse furniture scattered around the room. My roommate's computer hums softly in the background, and the TV is off. No sign of him or Rachel either. The apartment seems quieter than usual. As I make my way to the kitchen to pour myself a glass of water, a faint whisper tickles my ear, sending shivers down my spine. It's soft at first, just a mere murmur that could be misinterpreted as the wind blowing through the windows or the creaky floorboards. But then it becomes louder, an unmistakable voice calling out to me, saying my name over and over. Alex, Alex. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I spin around, scanning the dark corners with a mix of fear and curiosity. It's just my mind playing tricks, isn't it? No one else is here. I rush to turn on every light in the apartment to banish the shadows, but there's no one. Shaking off the unease, I settle into my favorite armchair with my laptop open for some late-night study. Just as I'm getting engrossed in my work, I hear it again. Alex, Alex. The voice is more pronounced now, vibrating through the walls and floorboards. It's not just a trick of my mind. Someone's speaking to me. My heart races while I try to convince myself it has to be one of US who didn't leave. But when I call out for Rachel or Tyler, no response comes. The whispering grows louder still, weaving into my thoughts like an insistent ghostly presence. Hours later, a chill still grips me as I lie awake in bed. The sound of Alex, echoing through the apartment's walls at regular intervals. Every time it happens, I expect someone to rush in, but they never do. I try to distract myself with Netflix and video games, but my mind keeps drifting back to that voice. By midnight, exhaustion finally takes over. I drift off into an uneasy sleep. Dreamless hours pass when the darkness awakens me again. Rachel's usually cozy bed is empty beside me. A sheet of paper lies on her pillow with a note scribbled in red ink. Run. In the silent seconds before dawn breaks, I hear it. My name, louder than ever, filling every corner of our little apartment. A sense of dread grips me as I throw off the covers and grab my bag. My phone has no messages or missed calls. The door is open when I step out into the chill morning air. It hadn't been left ajar before. Rachel's phone lies on the table, screen dark. Tyler must have had his earbuds in during sleep. He had opened the door for them to get fresh air like always. In their bedroom, an envelope with my name scribbled in messy letters lies face down under a pillow. It reads, "We're watching you." I rip it open. A newspaper clipping falls out. From decades ago, about people seeing shadowy figures lurking around this very building. A shiver ripples down my spine as I imagine those dark shapes trailing me. Classes are a blur, friends distant, and the apartment feels haunted even when I'm not here. At night, Rachel leaves without saying goodbye. Tyler never mentions anything unusual. I start to wonder if they're hiding something. But why? My sanity begins to slip. Maybe it's stress from this new job or the lingering memories of our creepy grate that Aunt Clara's stories about shadow people that haunt old houses like ours. I'm almost convinced I imagine things when, walking back home on Tuesday evening, I spot a figure in my mirror reflection. A silhouette stands behind me with skin as dark as coal and eyes glowing yellow, only to vanish into thin air. My pulse quickens. Is this the stress of our new neighborhood getting to me? That night, shadows seemed to move just enough for me to glimpse something tall and impenetrable watching from under my bed when I turn out the light. The days blend together in a haze of classes, study sessions, and an inexplicable sense that we're not truly alone. A low murmur starts to fill my mind, whispers echoing in sync with every step I take. Alex, Alex. I start locking doors, checking every corner before sleep. But there's always something new. Strange shadows on the walls, faint handprints in dust, and a persistent feeling of being stalked. My friends laugh it off as paranoia when I share my encounters, telling me to get some rest. One morning, while making coffee, Tyler says, "Did you have weird dreams? You've been acting off." I shake my head. How can he not feel it too? Chapter 2. The Shadows Follow. The strange is the norm now. Whispers during the day, an unsettling chill in every room I enter. I try to brush it under a rug of rationality, but find myself checking each corner of every class, walking home with lights on like a mad person. Tyler's concerned. Rachel barely acknowledges me anymore. My dreams are filled with those shadowy people and their ethereal eyes. They watch from just out of reach. Alex, Alex, it follows me everywhere now. No longer hidden whispers, but an omnipresent presence. I've started sleeping in my clothes, too scared to turn off the lights. One night, as I settle into bed, a dark shape slips around the doorframe, and I wake up drenched in sweat. No one's there when I grab the flashlight. Shadows dance across walls. It's not just a trick of the light. Tyler is out of town for the week. Rachel never returns my calls or texts. Have they left me? The whispers escalate, turning into muffled voices in our bedroom every night. I lie awake as Rachel and Tyler's room remain silent, their door shut like always. In class, students whisper among themselves, pointing to a girl who looks nothing like us. They say she lives in 2C, our floor. Black clothes drape her bony frame, dark hair spilling down an emaciated back. Rachel texts that night, "We're fine, and I shouldn't worry about it," even though there's no note or call. Shadows seep from her room to mine, the outlines of arms and legs materializing. A chill sets in as they form a silhouette by my bed. She stares at me with eyes that glow yellow in the dark. Run. My heart pounds out a frantic beat while I grab the flashlight switch. As I flip it on, nothing's there but flickering shadows cast by the light. The room was empty, but something has been watching us all along. It wasn't just my imagination or stress. I'm either losing it or someone knows our secret habits far too well. Weeks pass with a pattern. Whispers in the night. Their room always locked. They've left me alone. My sanity frays. One evening, walking to class, I see her, slouched over a desk at the back, black hair covering most of her face and pale skin. Her eyes lock onto mine. They're not like Rachel's, though. Our floor is empty when I return to 2C. She sits there alone. My heart thuds in my ears as they approach, revealing a gaunt figure with sunken cheeks and a childlike body, hair as black as coal. I thought you'd run. This time, a paper slips under my door. We'll be back. Run from them, if not me. I found an apartment for October. Rachel leaves without saying goodbye one last time, only to return 2 days later. No explanation. The figure in the mirror is back. It moves closer each night. Shadows stretch like something immense. When I'm alone in our room, they form a woman's silhouette. Don't go home tonight. It's 2C again when I walk in. Her lips move without sound, saying, "You're not you anymore." That Sunday, the landlady tells us a student died 3 nights ago in that apartment, in those very shadows. She warns me to leave now. The whispering intensifies. When darkness falls, I crouch on my floor and look up at a girl who stares. It's Rachel. A shadow person steps forward as she says, with eyes burning bright yellow and a voice like dry leaves, "I can't stay." The woman in black, the shadow, tells me both left when they couldn't escape either way. Escape where? I choke out, but something shuffles, drawing closer in our bedroom door. In a flash of light, she's there. My best friend, pale and trembling. Our eyes lock as I back away from the shape that emerged from her shadows. The creature moves forward, hand reaching. My heart races while she yanks me toward freedom. "Let go." I cry. She wrenches open the door as it swallows us both, pulling me through darkness. Chapter 3. The Unwanted Visitor. Dusty air fills my lungs when we stumble into a dim hallway. Shadows follow us up concrete steps. They close behind us, and I'm dragged toward an exit with no sign of any buildings. Just endless trees stretching to the sky. A tall form emerges from the gloom, watching, eyes still unblinking in yellow light. We emerge at night, stumbling into a clearing surrounded by ancient trunks. The whispers stop, only wind howls now. The woman's face is sunken, skin gray as wood. I'm not me anymore. It was always blackness when I fled. She speaks without opening her mouth, an unnatural voice that feels like leaves rustling. In the shadows, it turns to us, our best friend, once a silhouette of darkness. I am what they became. They're everywhere in this town. Her eyes meet mine, as if pleading for help from deep within them. "They'll take you back if I don't keep running," she hisses with that unearthly voice, pulling me deeper into the night to safety. Shadows move at a gallop, and we run until dawn breaks over a forest floor drenched in crimson leaves under a blood-red sky. In our shared glance, understanding flickers between us. Only one of them is still human. We flee on foot and bike through endless miles before reaching houses. My eyes sting. She doesn't want me to see where we're going. Home. In the distance, Clara's old house comes into view, overgrown with vines, a forgotten relic in a world that moved on. It smells of rot and neglect when her door swings open. My grandmother lives here now. The girl in black says they're inside. I step back, but she tugs me forward. In the musty air, I can hear a soft muttering. The whispers grow louder. Shadows slither up the walls like something is coming from both our rooms. It's night when we arrive. She pushes me into their embrace as an ethereal voice says, "You're next." Hands grip my shoulders. Bony fingers and hot breath. I'm dragged to a door with Clara's cackling laughter on the other side. In her sitting room, where pictures line walls, she sits in our childhood rocking chair, eyes alight like embers. "Get out while you can," she says, her voice no longer unblinking but weak. "You're next." In my room lies a note with a single sentence. "I have what I want. You will be the last one left." I flee in darkness. Moonlight finds me gasping for breath by dawn near my car when an old Cadillac pulls over, engine roaring like a beast. Clara's eyes glow behind the wheel. My great-aunt, but not as I remember her. "Don't go back to their house." She spits and drives us away from our home. As the sun rises high, I call 911. Shadows chase us on the highway. The vehicle lurches when I finally speak up. "What are you?" A gravelly voice replies, "I'm what they made of your friend." In a breathless exhalation, "We won't be alone tonight." Clara grips my hand, and I feel her tremble. The girl behind us is gone. The old house looms in the rearview mirror as we flee, the whispering growing fainter with each mile.